Okay, I'm just going to do a quick run through of how this crazy pack works. Essentially what it is a drum remixing template where you take, in this case, 64 drum loops and at the push of a button, remix them in a way that generates a brand new drum break. Sometimes it creates a mess, sometimes it creates magic. The idea here is that on this track, the triggers track, you just generate a brand new pattern with this one button and out comes a new drum break. Normally, putting a random pattern like this on a drum rack would just make chaos. But in this case, it actually keeps it musical. It sounds like drums all the way through. I'll explain how that works later, but all you need to know is just hit generate and generate and generate, and each time you do that, you've got a new loop. Next thing to look at is the third track, and that's where you record what you're doing. So let's just play one of these clips. There's 5 clips in here that are just examples that were created by hitting the generate button. So let's record this in. And while I do that, I'll also show you the MIDI effects on the triggers track. These are designed for making a quick drum fill. So as the loop is playing, I can swap the sounds to make a little fill and then bring it back. You get the idea, right? So that's all been recorded to audio. You can edit out the best bits. We can draw in lots of triggers and come up with something random, but that's pretty boring. So let's use the seed generator. So in a MIDI clip, you've got these tabs here. Go to this one and choose seed, and it's going to generate a random MIDI pattern. So this might not sound great. We might have to regenerate again. That's okay. Hit generate. Okay, I can work with that. So let's record this. All right, that's actually working pretty good. A couple of things to show is you can just add a whole loop here. Let's say we want to add a top loop just to be continuous throughout it. And if any of these are standing out, like the volumes are too high, you can just go and select them all. This will be an extreme example, but take their volumes down with the velocity tool. To explain what the velocity tool is doing, let's just make another new clip for a sec. Let's go for a color we haven't used yet. We can put in a whole loop here. And the same thing is going to play exactly the same way if I was to draw a sequence of notes. And it's just not going to re-trigger the loop. The loop is just going to play. Which means we can do things like play with the velocity, and that's going to control the volume slider, which I'll show in a sec. So select this down here in the velocity section, choose ramp, and I'll just ramp this down. And these velocity changes are actually controlling the track volume of this loop. This is full loop number 24. So let's go and have a look at its track volume and see it changing. So this is how we can control the volumes of loops here. Let's just copy this one up and just choose any other loop, just random. This one, I've got all these notes selected. I'm going to change the ramp direction. I'm going to go from low to high. So this one is going high to low. This one is going low to high. So essentially it's like crossfading between 2 drum loops. Let's change which loop. And the last thing to show is that there are audio effects that you can play with. So in the sounds group, if I unfold that, you can see there's a group track of full drum loops, a group track of low frequency drum loops. There's the mids, the snares and percussion, there's the tops, etc. Each one of these has audio effects on them, and you can change those, experiment with them. The reason that they're set up the way they are at the moment is because when you're playing full drum loops with drum loops that have lows and tops, then you probably want to carve out a bit of frequency space for them. So that's why the filters are on there. But if you wanted to just use low, mids and tops, then you probably don't need any filters. Also on the mids, we've got a band pass, again for the same reason. You can open this up and put audio effects on individual tracks if you want. The other thing is that the sounds group track actually has audio effects on that as well, just for some treatment to glue it all together. There are also sends and returns. So over here, we've got two different echoes, longs and shorts, reverbs, bright, dark, long and short. And the group tracks here have, some of them have sends sending to those effects. Again, you can experiment with any of these and you can replace the effects if you like. That's all you need to know about how to use it. If you want to know how this whole gate remixing thing was set up, there's another video and I'll leave that link. And the blog post has the best settings for the Generate tool to get the best results. Have fun, enjoy, peace.